Hi, I'm Dr. April Trainer, chiropractor and health advocate. Our mission at Health Enhance is to help people live longer, happier, and healthier lives. Welcome to our Healthy Living series, the knowledge, tool set, and inspiration to be as healthy as you want to be. Remember, the choices you make today will determine your health tomorrow. Choose a better you today. What we're going to be talking about today is the mystery of supplements and whether our body needs supplements, what supplements we should be taking. So this is a really complicated area, and I'm going to really simplify it for you. If we stop and think about what we were discussing, recapping what we were discussing about nutrition in the previous episode, we were discussing how human nutrition consists of 7 things: meat, fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, water, and eggs. And that's complete human nutrition 101. In terms of supplements, if we stop and think about if our body needs supplements, again, and I hope the answers to this are starting to become really clear for you, is of course we shouldn't need supplements. We should be getting our vitamins and minerals and our nutrients from the food that our body eats and consumes every day. And the healthier choices we make with the food that we're consuming, of course, the more nutrient dense it's going to be. So when it comes to supplements, number one is biologically we shouldn't need them, but then there is a gray area in terms of, are we getting enough nutrients? If you're not having enough fruit and vegetable, if you're living a very busy lifestyle and you're not cooking as much fresh food as is optimum for you. So first thing with vitamins and minerals is if you do feel that you're not getting adequate amounts of fresh fruits and vegetables to be getting a proper nutrient supply, first thing you need to make sure is that the vitamins and minerals that you are getting are not synthetic. There's a very high correlation to synthetic vitamins and minerals and cancer. So a lot of people are taking vitamins and minerals which are actually doing more harm than good. So what you need to make sure, if you're supplementing with vitamins and minerals, that they are vitamins and minerals that are coming from whole foods. So you can go out and research that and source it. The one that we don't stock this in the center, but any good health food store would. A lot of chemists will now stock products like this. This is one called Vital Greens, and when you read the ingredients on the back of this, it's spirulina, it's broccoli, and it's full of whole foods. What that means is you're getting vitamin minerals, natural vitamin and minerals to supplement your supply. So this is a great one. It's also reasonably palatable as well, and you can just stir it into a little bit of water or juice. This is good, and I recommend this when people have very busy lifestyles and they're really not cooking enough fresh food, okay? But the best choice is that we're having lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, lots of healthy lean meat sources. These supplements, the 2 supplements that I think we do need as human beings today, and I think are the exception to the rule of supplements, one is vitamin D. Now, the reason vitamin D is so important, vitamin D is an essential nutrient for human health. To get adequate amounts of vitamin D, even in Australia, to get adequate amounts of vitamin D as human beings, we would need to be stripped naked to the waist in the midday sun for at least 40 minutes every day. Now, our ancestors would have done that. Today, most of us don't do that. Okay, even school kids don't do that because they have to slip, slop, and slap, which we do to avoid getting skin cancers. But what the flow-on effect of that means is that we're not getting enough vitamin D for our body to express health. Vitamin D is one of our natural cancer fighters. Research around vitamin D, women that are vitamin D deficient are 77% more likely to get breast cancer. And while that study relates specifically to women, of course the genetics, vitamin D is an essential nutrient for men as well. So it'll work in the same way. That study's just been done for women. So vitamin D is one of the supplements. It's a natural antidepressant. It helps with your new bone cell formation that we have every day. Your body's constantly replacing with new cells. And if you don't have enough vitamin D, then those bone cells aren't going to be forming correctly. So this helps with things like osteoporosis, happiness, and your body expressing health. So vitamin D is one of the things that I make sure myself and my family have every day. And unless you're out baking in the sun safely and not burning yourself, so that you're not going to be a risk to skin cancers, it's an important thing for all of us as modern day human beings, so our body can do its job. The second supplement that I recommend for us as people eating a modern day human being diet is omega-3s. Now I say omega-3s and not fish oil. You can buy fish oil that has no omega-3s. So what the research around fish and omega-3s, if you take fish from the ocean and you put it in a farmed environment, within 6 weeks those fish will have no omega-3s and then they'll be full of omega-6s. The reason human beings today, we are severely deficient in omega-3s, so that the current ratio for the typical modern day human being diet is that we have 30 omega-6s to 1 omega-3. The healthy ratio and what our ancestors would have had is 1 omega-6 to 3 omega-3s. So this is one of the supplements, and the reason we are so toxic, omega-6s are healthy for us, but we're toxic in how many we have. And what that does, as soon as we're so high in omega-6s, again, it creates this cancer state in our body. So by making sure we get our omega-3, our daily dose of omega-3s, that means that it's setting our body up to be able to express health. Omega-3s do everything for us. They're natural antidepressants. They lubricate our joints. They are food for our brain. Every single cell that's constantly forming in your body, it needs omega-3s to do that. So they're some of our natural cancer fighters. So they do literally so many things for our body that we can't even take them. They reduce blood pressure. They reduce cholesterol. Omega-3s, this amazes me. So this is, and not surprisingly, our body, the nutrients that our body needs are what it needs to express health. Omega-3s, sufficient omega-3s in your body is 157% more effective at reducing cholesterol than cholesterol tablets. And it has none of the side effects. So why aren't we being recommended this as your prescription? So this is what I'm recommending to you, is to add this to you in your family's routine. They're actually thinking of putting omega-3s across the Australian schooling system, that every single child in Australia gets their daily dose of omega-3s, because they're starting to realize how profoundly it affects human health and how deficient we are in our modern day diet. The reason we're deficient in omega-3s is so where we get omega-3s from is our animal products that we're meant to be eating. And how our animal products are raised now, our animals, cows, if you're eating farmed fish, lamb, even if you're buying things like venison, is often raised on a farm, which means they're getting grain-fed, which raises their omega-6s, instead of grass-fed or seaweed or algae-fed, which raises their omega-3s. So if you're eating fish from the ocean, you'll be getting omega-3s. If you're eating beef, lamb, venison, kangaroo that is purely grass-fed, it'll be chock full of omega-3s for you. But if you're not, or if you don't know if you are, then you want to make sure you're taking these omega-3s. Okay? Now, the type of omega-3, the vitamin D that you get, vitamin D is manufactured the same all over the planet. You can get it in any chemist, any health food store. We stock it in the center just for convenience for our practice members. And as I've said before, all our products we just sell at cost, so that you guys can be sure you're getting a really good quality supplement, or that you're getting really good quality products in whatever they are. The omega-3s, the type of omega-3 that you take, is very important. It needs to be manufactured in a way that it's stable, so that it doesn't oxidize. If it oxidizes, that means it's bad, it's gone off. And that's why people often get the burpy aftertaste when they've had their fish tablets, is because it's rotten omega-3s. Rotten omega-3s, again, causes cancer in our body. So it's even when people are trying to be healthy, we're often doing damage. So I want to make sure that you're getting the right one. So what we stock in the center is an Australian-based omega-3. It's from a company called Bioceuticals. And again, you can go and do your own research. You need to make sure it's from small fish, so there's no heavy metals, because those are toxic to our body. You need to make sure this is made with sustainable fish. You want to make sure it's the right ratio of EPA to DHA for humans, and that it's from deep sea fish. Again, so there's not pollutants in it, and that it's oxidized. Most importantly, that it's oxidized in the right way, so that it's stable. And that means it's good for you, and it's doing what it's supposed to, and it's like eating fresh fish. So this, again, we sell at cost for practice members. Half a teaspoon a day means that you're getting all your omega-3s. And, honestly, if there was a few, the things that I would recommend that are going to impact your health the most, if every single person in our community just started walking for 30 minutes a day, you just started making sure you were sufficient in omega-3s, and you were sufficient in vitamin D, and you had your spine healthy and moving, the health of our community would change profoundly. And it's so easy, and honestly, walking costs nothing. This is so cheap. So this is about $6 a week, maybe even less than that when you get it at the cost price, to make sure that you and your family are having it. And it should be your whole family. Every single human being, from little babies right up to great-grandparents, we need omega-3s through our whole life. It's always an essential nutrient. So yeah, we have those in the practice, or do your own research, but definitely this is one of those essential nutrient health boxes that you want to tick for you and your family. Okay, now I'm going to show you the tips on how to make your morning health cocktail. So this is the only supplements that my family and I have regularly, and I would certainly recommend they're the ones that are important for you to make sure that you and your family are getting. So just to refresh, it's making sure you're sufficient in omega-3s and making sure you're sufficient in vitamin Ds. We have this, so we're going to make it. We have this in a little shot of orange juice, or you can have it in a little bit of water. The idea behind the orange juice is it just makes it really easy. So my daughter has this every morning. The grown-ups in the house have it every morning. So this is, all you need to do is to put in your vitamin D. So this is the products that we stock in the center. You can research your own. The great thing about the products in the center is we've already done the research, and they are available at cost for you. So for growing up with the vitamin D, all you do is you add, for a child it's 1 drop, for a woman it's 2 drops, and for a man it's 3 drops. So I'll put in my 2 drops. Now I always make this, a very good tip, I always make it in a glass at home. If you put it in a plastic glass at home, the omega-3s tend to seep into the plastic, and then you start to get that fishy smell. But otherwise you don't, because it's such a high quality omega-3 oil, there is no real fishy smell with it. You do a half a teaspoon of the omega-3s, so that's good, and that's your total dose, and to make sure that your body is getting what it needs to be able to express and sustain health, so to your good health. Done. That concludes this healthy living session. I look forward to catching up with you next time. And until then, remember, the choices that you make today will determine your health tomorrow. Choose a better you today. You deserve it.